In my last video I talked about why artists fail, and in this video, I want to show you how to practice the right way so that you don't fail. First, you want to eliminate all potential distractions. That means putting away your phone, turning off the TV, maybe put on some music if you have to. But don't be talking to people or in a social environment while you're doing this. All of these things are potential distractions from what we're doing. And with that being said, let's begin with phase 1. So for this tutorial, we're going to be drawing and sculpting the human mouth, or lips. The lips are comprised of 5 different pieces. The upper lip is comprised of 3, and the lower lip is comprised of 2. So we're going to start by drawing the Cupid's bow in the middle of the mouth, which is that little U shape in the middle, and the 2 wings off to each side. Then we'll draw the outline of the upper lip and the outline of the lower lip. Note that the lower lip begins a little bit further in than where the top lip ends. And then we're just going to lightly circle where each of those 5 parts begin, but you get the idea. It's super important for you to use reference while you're doing this. So open up Google Images, or if you already have reference on your computer, but just be looking at something while you're doing these drawings. We're going to draw the Cupid's bow, draw the upper lip, draw the lower lip, circle all 5 parts of the mouth, and now we're going to add contour lines across the surface of the top and bottom lip to make it look more three-dimensional. Now that you've done 5 drawings with reference, you're going to do 5 drawings with absolutely no reference. This is super important because it's forcing your brain to remember all that information all by itself. Don't forget to take breaks. It's important to get up and walk around. You don't want to injure a wrist or a shoulder or your hands from drawing too much or sitting in the same position for too long. Phase 2. Now we're going to open up Zbrush. Be sure to focus on the 5 main pieces that the lips are made of. 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So we're actually just going to do the same thing we did in 2D in 3D. Trace the outline of the mouth, draw the Cupid's bow, fill in those top 3 pieces and the bottom 2 pieces, and just build your forms using the clay brush, dam standard, and the inflate brush to eventually bring more 3D form to your lips. You can also create a nice little border on the lips by holding Alt with the dam standard brush. Good job! You sculpted your lips. Now do it 5 more times. By the way, 5 is an arbitrary number. This is just how many times I do it. You could do it 3 times. You could do it 1 more time. You don't have to do it the same number of times that I do. The point is that you're creating a consistent pattern and you're practicing over and over again so you can recognize your mistakes from the previous versions and get better every time. If you can do this every single day, your art will improve and you will get better at sculpting, or drawing, or whatever it is you want to apply this method to. Some people don't have time. Some people can't do it every day. That's okay. If you can spend 20 minutes a couple of days a week, that's better than spending no time at all. If you're only able to spend 20 minutes to an hour every single day, that's great. That's way better than spending 5 hours one day a week. Cramming is not going to get you anywhere. One of the best ways to learn anything is to create a consistent pattern on a regular basis, which moves us on to phase 3. First, you're going to need a new sphere, so either use the simple brush or append in a new sphere. Then go to Geometry, Z Remesher, and crank the dial all the way down to 2, and run Z Remesher. This should put you at about 3,000 polygons. And you guessed it, phase 3 is low poly. It's so important for you to be able to see these shapes with less polygons. You'll have to get creative and use your brushes differently, use the move brush at a smaller radius, but if you can recreate these shapes with as few as 3,000 polygons, then you can subdivide up and your sculpt is going to look amazing. Working in low poly is like the block out phase for any sculpt. Blocking out is always super important whenever you're doing any sculpt. You need a foundation to work on, and if the foundation is right, the rest of the sculpt is going to look right as well. If you're sitting around too long, you could seriously injure your hand or your arm or something else. Seriously, just take a break. Those are all the steps from beginning to end, so let's review, starting with phase 1. Break down all your shapes in 2D and start filling in your 3D forms with contour lines. This helps you understand the 3-dimensional forms on paper. Now repeat this process 5 more times on paper, and then we'll move on to phase 2. Open it up in ZBrush, and we're actually just going to do the exact same thing. Trace the mouth, fill in the 3D forms for all 5 parts of the lips. Then we move on to phase 3, which is low poly. Do it 1 time, do it 5 times. Being able to understand these shapes in as low polygon density as possible is going to absolutely increase your knowledge of how these shapes look and how they work in 3D. By the way, this process can be applied to all kinds of different things. The point is, making consistent patterns is going to allow your brain to transfer short-term to long-term memory with whatever habit it is that you're doing. This is just what I've been doing lately to practice, and I've been seeing improvement, so I wanted to share that with you guys. I'm really curious to know what kind of methods other people use, so if you have a method that you'd like to share, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to improve my art. I would love to find new ways to practice. That's all the time I have for this video, guys. Thank you again for watching my channel. I appreciate your support. I kind of found my rhythm again, so I'm going to get back into making videos on a regular basis, hopefully every week, if not every other week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.